All right, let us go through this diagram, ladder diagrams. So you must remember that this code is for a lift car. What like will be helping us to lift cars maybe from the ground floor up to the first floor and the second floor. So for now you have two floors. We have the ground, the first and the second floor. So this project we have done it, we have explained it in our session, and I will also go through these diagrams, not just for you to have that possibility. If you didn't get something very well, you can go through even this video and understand better. So let me go through the codes, let me go through the diagrams. So for this one we have like the network one. First of all, I must explain the difference between sets when you have something called sets and resets, and when we have something like a simple, we can say a simple contactor, a simple I can say output. You remember an output we usually use something like this one, like our outputs, a contactor, a normal contactor. But what is the difference between them? A set reset and this normal contactor. So the difference is, for a set, first of all, for a set we don't need to have a maintainer. You remember a maintainer? A set maintains itself. So when like this one I0.0 is switched on, is put on, directly our Q0.0 will be on also, because you know I0.1 is normally closed, and this one is normally open, so you must close this one. When it is closed, directly our set will be on, like current will be flowing here, because a set maintains itself. Even if this one is a button, a press button, you will press and then release the button, but our set will still be on, because it has it maintains itself. That's the difference. You remember, for a set, for this normal one, for the other one, the normal contactor, we need the maintainer. Which must be in parallel with the button, so that when the button is released, the contactor will have already closed the maintainer, and it will remain on. So that's the difference. Another difference, for this one, since we have a set, we must also have a reset, so that a set, because it maintains itself, it will not be on like for a lifetime. It will not be on for like, well, even if you don't want it to be on, to still be on, it can be on because it maintains itself. So we have something we call reset, not just for it to go off, So you see we have here Q0.1. That means the reset of this Q0.1 of this contactor must also be labeled Q0.1. What is that reset? That reset is here. So you may see that reset. So if I0.1 is on, you remember for this one it was not I0.1, it was I0.0. So they must have at least have different commands, so that I0.0 will be for set, the I0.1 will be for reset. If you want to set, to put this on, like to close the contactor, for the contactor to go on, you can push the button here I0.0 and it will go on. And if you want it to go off, you can push this button, push and then release I0.1, and it will go off, because even the reset also will reset and also will go off, like it just resets, and it has also for sure this reset is just used to reset the like to reset the sets. Yeah, to reset the sets. I hope you got it. Like if the set is on, that means the contactor is on. To put the contactor off, you must reset the contactor. That's it. And the contactor is Q0.1. That's why Q0.1 the contactor is labeled Q0.1. That means the sets must be Q0.1 and the resets as well. So that this reset must be for this particular contactor Q0.1, and that set must be for that particular contactor Q0.1. That's it. So you can go through the code, you will find like almost the similar code, the similar diagram for each contact, because remember we have like the ground floor, the first floor, and the second, the ground floor, the first floor, and the second floor. So those three floors can have the same kind of diagram, the same diagram. So that's because when you are at the first floor or when you are at the second floor, what will be changing is just the way of which the motor will be running. Maybe if you are at the second floor, you need to go to the first floor. You can't go beyond second floor. So the motor must run only in one way. If you are at the second floor, the motor must run only in one way. That means from the second floor to the first floor, or from the second floor to the first floor, from the first floor to the ground floor. You see, just in one way. If you are from the second floor, and also if you are on the ground floor, the motor must run only in one way, because you must not go like under the ground floor. So you must always go from the ground floor to the first floor, and from the first floor to the second floor. You see, so you can't go under ground floor. So the motor must run in one way when you are at the ground floor, and then also the motor must run in one way when you are at the second floor. You see, but when you are in between, like on the first floor, the motor can run in two ways. You see, either you go to the second floor, either you go back to the ground floor. That's it. So let me you can go through the code as I've already explained. That's two fast diagrams. You can go through the code and you'll find we have just two contactors, because since we need just two ways in which the motor must run, we need just two contactors. The first way is clockwise maybe, and the second one is anti-clockwise. When the motor is running in clockwise, that means maybe it is the lift is going up. When the motor is running anti-clockwise, that means the motor is going down. I can say the lift is going down. The motor is running anti-clockwise, the lift is going down. You see, so we need just two contactors, Q0.1 and Q0.0. You see, those are two contactors at like our outputs, just two outputs, one for the two ways, first way and the second way, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So we can just simulate and we see how it is working and how the current is flowing. For us to simulate, you know how to create OB1 and FC1. OB1, on this OB1 you can simulate. Let me simulate. And also, in order to simulate, you must define the digital input and the digital output. Let me just put 8 because I don't need many. 8, and now you have your PLC. You have your PLC here. So let me also put this on. I must just first of all put this. That's it. So let me then see how the current is flowing. You see, this I0.0 is off. That means the current is just from the source, from the line to here, but it is not flowing here because this one is off. So let me put it on, and then let me push the button and then release. Push, release. You see, I pushed and I released, but the Q0.1 is still on. I pushed and I released, but the Q0.1 is still on. That's why I told you it maintains itself. So you see, this will not change anything, because first of all, the Q0.1 is already on. So even if you close and you push and you release, it will not change anything, because it has already maintained itself. But let me change then. Let me change the. We said that the reset is Q0.1. The reset is this one. So you must close you must push I0.1. I0.1 is where? I0.1 is this one. See? I0.1. I0.1 is this one. You close and you release. Directly, the Q0.1 is off. Q0.1 is off because it has reset. It has been like you reset the Q0.1. So the Q0.0 is on. Why? Because you remember the I0.0 here, the I0.0 here will be the Q0.0, sorry, the Q0.0 will be on, because you remember these two, I can say these two contactors, when the contactor 1 is contactor Q0.1 is on, contactor Q0.0 is off. And when the contactor Q0.0 is off, the contactor Q0.1 is on. You see, so they can't be on at the same time, so that the motor cannot run in clockwise and anti-clockwise. If you do that mistake, that means you will burn your motor. It can't run in two ways. You cannot connect the motor to run in two ways, like how it will run. You see, even if you are using a DC motor, or even, I can say, three phases, you cannot run your motor in two ways. So when you press again like I0.2, I0.2 is where? I0.2 is here. I0.2, if you press that I0.2, it will not change anything, because you remember the I0.2 is there to close this Q0.0. So you can just close this another one like I0.1 in order just to go back to your Q0.0, or you can close this one to go on Q0.1. You see it? So that's it. So your motor can run in both ways, and first of all, as I told you, you have the set and resets. So if you were maybe running, you were running the Q0. The fast in clockwise, you can run also in anti-clockwise, and you must reset the fast way of running in order just for it to run in the other way. So you can see the working principle, and you can simulate on your own and see how it is working, and you will see that you only need those two commands, like for the clockwise and anti-clockwise, and you can use it you can command your motor in those two ways without any problem. So go through the codes, do that on your own, and simulate, and you will see how it can work. Yeah, that's it. Hope you have got the points, and now you can simulate also on your own, and you can do that course.